Hey everyone, very excited that you're trying the yoga or fitness portion of Petite Yogi. Just a few words of advice before you get into the workouts. If you're new to yoga, you might want to watch through once or twice just to get a feel for what I'm doing and listen to the instructions. As you go through the workouts, make sure that you listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, back off. Take any modifications. I try to give modifications for each pose, so you don't need to go in as deep a stretch as I do or move in a certain way. Just kind of go with what feels good for your body and have a good time, okay? So have fun, good luck, and I hope you like it. Thank you. Have a great day. Okay, so this is the beginner flow, a nice simple flow where you can practice what you learned in the tutorial. So we're going to sit in an easy seated pose, legs crossed, sit up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of your head, eyes closed. You can bring the palms of your hands together, rest them on your knees, whatever feels most comfortable, and we're just going to take a few deep, nice, slow breaths. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Sweep your arms all the way up. Now we're going to lengthen our sides, so dropping that left arm down and just rolling through on that right side. If you have space, you can drop the forearm. If not, fingertips is fine. Same thing on the right side, lengthening through that left side, reaching that left arm all the way up. Just rolling through this nice stretch, expanding your ribs. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. And we're going to come to a tabletop position. Now remember, your fingers are spread wide, your wrists are in line with your elbows and your shoulders. And we're going to take a couple cat-cows. So inhale, arch the back. Exhale, lower the belly. Inhale, arch the back. You can kind of move through this. Loosen up any tightness in your lower back or in your upper shoulders. Make sure that your knees are hips distance apart. And now we're going to gently push back into a downward facing dog. So fingers spread wide, coming back, pushing back into that upside down V, pedaling your feet. And again, if you need to bend your knees or shorten your stance, that's fine. So bringing that left leg up in the air, twirling your ankle around, loosening up that joint. Dropping that left foot down, same thing right side, bring up that right leg, loosening up that right ankle. Dropping that foot down and slowly walking your feet towards your hands in a gentle forward fold. Slight bend in the knees as you inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Take a nice little side stretch here. So inhale, dropping that left hand down, lengthening through those right fingertips like someone's reaching you in two opposite directions. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, drop that right arm down, making sure that your chest is open and gently folding down, slight bend in the knees, hands down to the mat. Inhale up halfway, hands on chins or down to the mat if that's more comfortable. Exhale down. We're going to set that left leg back. Come into our warrior one. Remember, the back foot is angled. Inhale, sweep your arms up. The front knee is bent, making sure that your knee is over your ankle, squaring your hips as best you can. Open up to your warrior two. Back foot angled, knee over your ankle in the front. Resting your forearm, coming into our side angle pose. If you have more space, you could always drop your fingertips to the mat, coming back to warrior two, flipping the front palm, reaching back into a reverse warrior pose. You could straighten that front knee if that feels good, get more length. Coming back to warrior two. And now cartwheeling your hands down to the mat, fingers spread wide, stepping back into your plank, upper push-up position. Gently dropping your knees, release the tops of your feet. Now we're going to come into a baby cobra. So pressing the tops of your feet into the mat, pinning your elbows into your ribs. Slight bend in the elbows, gently pressing up into a baby cobra. Lowering your body down, tabletop, tuck the toes, coming back into downward facing dog. Good job. So pedaling your feet, hopefully the backs of your legs feel a little bit more loose, and then slowly walking your feet towards your hands. Heel toe your feet together. Going to come into a nice little chair pose. So remember, sweeping your arms up, biceps by the ears, tucking your tailbone, relaxing your neck and shoulders, the weights in your heels. You might want to lift up your toes just to check, and hands down to heart center as you stand. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, gently folding down. Shake your head a little bit if that feels good. Loosen up your neck. Inhale up halfway. Now we're going to step that right foot all the way back. Angle your back foot. And again, you can widen your stance in your warrior one if that makes you more stable. Sweep your arms up, trying to square off your hips as best you can. Knee over your ankle in the front. Lengthening through those fingertips and relaxing your shoulders. Open up into your warrior two. Really lengthening through those fingers. Back foot's angled. Knee over your front foot. Coming into our side angle. So our left forearm is gently resting on our thigh. Reaching up with that right arm. Coming back to warrior two. Flipping the palm. Reaching back, you can hold on to the back of your thigh if that feels good. Getting some length in those left ribs. Back to warrior two. Cartwheeling your hands to the mat, fingers spread wide. Stepping back into plank, making sure that your core is engaged and strong. Gently dropping your knees, release the tops of your feet. Pinning your elbows into your ribs, slight bend in the elbows, gently pressing up into your baby cobra. And then exhaling down, tucking your toes, pushing back into tabletop, and gently back into a downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet, fingers spread wide. Make sure that the weight's in your fingertips. You don't want to jam the heels of your hands into the mat. And then slowly walking your feet towards your hands. Just relaxing a moment. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Just take a moment to breathe. Now we're going to come into a tree pose. So all the weight is in that standing leg. Okay, engaging your quad and your glute. And you can bring your heel to your ankle, your shin, your thigh. Just don't do it on your knee. And then growing your tree. Or you could keep your hands to heart center, wherever you feel most stable. Hugging in that knee and dropping it. Inhale, sweep your arms up, and exhale, folding down. And with the standing poses where you balance, that comes in time. Stepping that left leg back, we're going to come into a high lunge position. So on the back toes, inhale, sweep your arms up, making sure that your tailbone's tucked a little. Knees over that front ankle. Now we're going to lean forward, come on those back tippy toes, and come into a warrior three. If you need to hold on to the couch for stability, you can, a chair, and then gently coming back. And all these standing poses, you really need to engage your core. And we're going to slowly open up into a warrior two position again. Feeling strong. And then gently heel toe that back foot in a little bit, and we're going to straighten that front leg, come into a triangle. So leaning forward, and then dropping your arm down on your shin, your ankle. You can reach the floor. And lengthening through those right fingertips. Coming back into warrior two. And then cartwheeling your hands down to the mat. Stepping back into plank pose. Really engaging your core, dropping your knees, releasing the tops of your feet, gently lowering down on your belly. Pinning your elbows into your ribs, gently coming up into your baby cobra, and then lowering down. Inhale as you come up into tabletop, tucking your toes, and then back into that downward facing dog. Good. Pedaling your feet, taking a breath, and then slowly walking your feet towards your hands. Inhale up halfway, lengthen that lower back, exhaling, folding down. And then inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Okay, now we're going to take a tree pose on the other side. So all the weight's in that left foot, engaging your quad, your glute, your core, and then just bringing your foot you can bring your heel onto your ankle, your shin, your thigh. And you might find that one side you're more wobbly or stable than the other, and that's perfectly fine. And then exhale down, fingertips to the mat. You're going to step that right foot all the way back. We're going to come into that high lunge again. So on your back toes, front knee is over your front ankle. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Tuck your tailbone. Make sure that you're protecting your lower back. Nice strong stance, lengthening through those fingertips. And then gently opening up into your warrior two pose. Back foot's angled, knees over your ankle in the front. Gazing over that front finger. Now we're going to come into a triangle pose. So straighten that front leg, heel toe your back foot in a little bit. Reach forward and then dropping that left hand on your shin, your ankle, the floor, a block. Always use the block if that is helpful to you. And your gaze can be upward or face forward, whichever is most comfortable. So gently bend that front knee again. We're going to come back into our warrior two stance. Feeling strong. And then cartwheel your hands down to the mat. And then we'll step back into a warrior three this time. Switch it up a little bit, supported warrior three. And then come back. And then you can try it and test your balance on this side. Slight bend in that front knee, strong in the quad and the glute, hands down to the mat, stepping back into your plank pose. Holding plank, really engaging that core, and then we'll drop our knees and then just take a nice child's pose. So you're going to sit on your heels, just rest your head down, lengthen through the fingertips, and just take a few deep breaths. And then we'll come forward, cross at the ankles. We're going to come to sit on our bum. And we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. Okay, and again, if you need the assistance of a block to give you a little more space, you should do that. Lengthen through your sides and then reaching forward, leading with your chest. And if you just want to sit in this position, that might be enough for you to get a nice stretch in your hips and your lower back, or if you have more space, you can gently walk your hands forward and just relax in this pose and take some breaths. And then gently coming back, closing your legs like a book, extending them out, reaching for your toes. And again, if you can't reach your toes, put a slight bend in your knees until you can reach them, leading forward with your chest. And then in time, you'll gradually be able to lengthen out your legs and find more space in your hamstrings. And just make sure that you keep with your breath. That's what yoga is all about. Linking your breath to the movement. So we're going to scooch forward a little bit. If you have a strap, if you need a strap or a tie, we're going to rock side to side, holding onto our knees. We're going to extend that left leg out and then just hug that right knee in. We're going to have a nice little hamstring stretch. So grab the back of your thigh if you can, rolling your foot around, loosening up that ankle joint a bit. And if you want, you can grab the back of your shin, your foot, if you have space to do so. If you're not as flexible, you're just not there yet, you could always use a strap. Just kind of hook it around the ball of your foot and gently pull. Don't try to jam or force anything. That would defeat the purpose of what you're doing. So slight bend in the knee and just hold it for a few seconds and then gently release. Hold it and gently release. If you want to make some nice circles, it's a good way to loosen up your hips and also loosen up the hamstrings. Nice slow motion. And then gently release that, hugging your knee and let it go. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. So hugging the back of your thigh, extending that left leg, and grabbing wherever it feels most comfortable for you. And you may even have one leg that's more flexible than another, and that's perfectly fine. So, again, just finding a little space in your body, breathing through. If you feel that you need the assistance of your strap, definitely use it. It's not a cheat, it's a way to work your way to where you want to be. And everyone's body is different, so be patient with yourself and you'll get there. Making some nice circles, nice and slow, loosening up the hips, loosening up the hamstrings. And then gently releasing that strap, hugging your knees in, rocking side to side. And we're going to take a nice gentle spinal twist, so dropping your knees over to the left side, your right arm's extended to the right. You can keep your eyes open or closed and just take a nice deep breath in through your nose, gentle sigh out of your mouth. And then we'll switch sides, so gently dropping your knees over to the other side, off to the right, extending your left arm out. Breathing softly. Just feel a nice stretch on your hip, your lower back. And then bringing your knees forward, giving them one last hug, and Shavasana. So arms and legs out to the side, eyes closed. This is your chance to let go of any scattered thoughts, calm your mind, release any tension in your face, neck, shoulders, feeling your hands and feet heavy on the mat. Take deep inhales and big sighs out of your mouth. And then when you're ready, you can bring some movement back to your body. You can even stretch your arms overhead. And then slowly walk your feet into your bum, roll onto your side. Just take another moment to yourself. Finding a little bit of peace. And then gently pushing yourself up back to a seated position. Just legs crossed. Inhale your arms up. And exhale down. Awesome job. Congratulations. Beginner's Yoga.